No, all good.
Mm.
Good afternoon, everybody. I hope you're all having a fantastic start to the week so far, actually. Yeah, so today we're actually, we normally do these interviews on a Tuesday evening, but today we decided to change it up a bit and host it in the afternoon, which is really, really exciting. So if you're new here, first of all, welcome. We are Livewire TV, a part of Livewire Media. This is a place where we interview guests on different areas of business, marketing, and ultimately it's all about adding value and helping you get through the current situation. And previously we've talked about like marketing strategies, business strategies, but we haven't necessarily talked about mindset. And that is massively important, especially considering what's going on. I know a lot of you guys are you're taking this time to learn something new, you're taking this time to develop your brain, develop your skills. And hopefully with our next guest today, we can actually help you develop some tools and strategies for how you can actually elevate your life to that next level. So I'd love to introduce you to Samaa. Samaa and I've connected for quite a long time now. I think we met through just networking in general.
Yes.
Then we connected again through LinkedIn just recently, and I found out about all the amazing, incredible stuff that she's been doing recently. And I just had to bring her on as a guest here because I know that she's going to add a ton of value. Samaa, tell us what you guys do at Brain RX.
Thank you. Afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Rohini, for the introduction. Yes, I'm the founder and the consultant of Rising Brains, and we are here using a comprehensive approach for brain development. And it is depending on cognitive and education psychology. So, for everyone, for adults and children. And it's a very amazing work that we apply for our clients, depending on so many methods and in so many areas in the brain. So lots of people, they don't know about what is the brain or what the brain is working through. So there are so many things that, because you said about this situation we are going through now, it's
Yeah,
so important that we should be hitting a very important critical situation that we are
yeah.
facing now. So let's go through it.
Exactly. Guys, if you've got any questions about mindset, the brain, NLP, even like just tutoring kind of questions, drop them in the comments and we'll be sure to ask them to Samaa as well. But like I guess my first sort of question when you were just sort of giving your introduction, I like what is really the importance? Because I think a lot of business owners they don't necessarily associate their brain development with their business success, do they? Or have you
Yes.
found something different in your experience?
Actually, I had 4 years ago, I had a business lady. She was 50 years old and she came and she had her brain training and she said, I want to make my brain sharper. Her business is related to developing others people businesses. So she need to fix their problems and find ideas to get them out of their problems if they are having. So she
Yeah,
was quite very good and she benefit a lot from the business and she's still my best friend. She's close to me,
amazing.
and she really values what she got through, because this brain training is for everyone. It's not only for people who are struggling, it's for
Yeah,
everyone, people from age 6 and above. And the thing is that we work on so many areas. We work on cognitive areas, which are your brain cells, how they are connected, skills, how they are
yeah.
connected together. And we work on your behavior, on your mindset. If you have any thoughts about yourself or you need to improve your thoughts in the same time, it will be comprehensive approach. So I will be working with my client whatsoever his age is,
Yeah,
one to one, to solve his or her problems.
amazing.
So we
I'm going to
use
dive into like how you guys work at Brain RX in a little bit as well, but I'm just curious, like for now, like how did you come to like start your business?
Now, this is the most important question that I would like everyone to have very careful listening to.
Okay.
Through what we are going through now is exactly how did I discover my business 7 years ago in 2013. Previously, I was an international educator. I apply my skills about education and psychology to educate children through. I traveled through West and East, and then settled back here. So once I had a child, she was 12 years old, but I started working with her or teaching her since she was 8. And she was struggling every year. Every year she was struggling. However, I'm adding my methods and I am working on her. And at the end, after 3 months, she gets pushed and she is above average in her education level. But I always say there is something else to be done. And this girl, she was going through a severe trauma. She had severe trauma through her childhood because of her parents' problems. And I was working on this trauma as well. But I was saying there's something else I can do. And suddenly I made my research. I was living in the Middle East. So I made my research and suddenly I found the BrainRx program. I made a deep research about it through internet, and I found that there is a center where I am living. So I took this girl on my expenses and I made the brain cognitive assessment for her, and suddenly she was 12 years old. Her brain age was 5 and 5.5 years old, and this is why she was failing every year in school whatsoever, because her brain is like a pot which has holes. Whatever you are putting is draining. So what we do in BrainRx, we fill up the gaps. These are your cognitive skills. So she had
They look like colorful grapes. I love it.
Yes, exactly. So she had gaps in her cognitive skills. So every color is a type of cognitive skill if these synapses are not connected together. So this child, he will remain.
You're basically filling in the gaps for people, aren't you?
Exactly.
In terms of their neuro-linguistic programming, which is really deep scientific stuff, isn't it?
It is something new, but it had been for the last 35 or 50 years of research. It's new here for English people, and I was the first in Europe, first in UK to establish the business which has BrainRx and ReadRx programs that I had from the States in 2015. Now we have 5 centers in the UK and 10 centers in Europe. Everybody had this courage to go through this. They learned about it. So I took this girl. She needs 6 months of training. She went to that, and I changed my career from an educator to a cognitive brain trainer. And once I worked as a cognitive brain trainer, I found the amazing benefit on these people, because it is a highly clinically designed program. It's a one-to-one design program to reconnect these cognitive skills together to make a very strong, sharp brain. And one of my cases was a little lady or a young lady. She was 20 when she died. Like her heart stopped for 6 minutes. And then she went in a coma for a month. When she woke up from her coma, she was paralyzed, and she had to go to physiotherapy. And then her parent and the neurologist told her that half of her brain is damaged. So parents started making the research helping her. And suddenly she was one of my clients, my students in the Middle East. Her brain age was 4.5 or 5. She lost all her skills. She can't read, she can't write, she can't anything.
Just to clarify for the viewers, like what is the actual definition of a brain age?
Brain age. Okay, so everyone, for example, I am 45. My brain age might be now
45.
Thank you. If I made we give the brain age equivalent for people from 6 years old to 18 or 17 years old. This is how the research is working at. For example, if I had a student, she was 14 when she came 6 months ago, and her brain age was 7 years and 5.5 years old. That means she is functioning in life as if she is 5.5-year-old child. If you give a method of a year 9 education or year 9 curriculum for a student, she is 14 actually, but her brain age is 5.5, and she is really massively struggling in school. She can't perform. She is really
because the development isn't there.
Because there is a dysfunction in her brain. And this girl I'm telling you about, she passed with amazing brain age of 18 now. She is an amazing student. I'm so proud of her. She's from Telford. And her mom gave us a very wonderful testimony. She wrote her brain training story. She stayed for 6 months having 122 hours of training on cognitive training. And in the same time, I was working on her mindset, because What happens with the children when they lose their cognitive skills? Their self-esteem will get very low. They will have a very they will struggle emotionally. It will be making collapse. It's a cycle. Vice versa. If you are having problems in your psychological issues, or you are having a problem with mindset, it will affect your cognitive skills. And in the same area, your cognitive skills will be dropped if you are having the problem. So this is why when I found the amazing result on my clients in the Middle East, I said, okay, I'm coming back to England. I will establish my business whatsoever. I was the first in Europe, first in UK, and it was an amazing step. However, it was tough because people doesn't know about the cognitive rehabilitation.
It always is when you're starting something new, isn't it?
Yeah, it's something very new. And through these 5 years, people are getting highly aware about this. And this is why we have now 4 centers in the UK, including mine, and 10 in Europe. So, and the results are massively recognized because I'm the practitioner and I am the one I'm the consultant and the practitioner. I am applying all my knowledge and all my skills to all my clients whatsoever. So once you have the background of cognitive education and psychology, it is all together connected. You have to approach all these problems together to fix them. And you will have the... So this is what is meant about the tools implementing life-changing. And life-changing is for everyone. The life change starts from inside you. The brain is the most important organ of your body, that if you work on it and very hard,
I just want to interject there because Gamden has just jumped on the screen and actually asked a really, really effective question, I find. So first of all, welcome to the stream, guys. Like Gamden, if you got any questions, drop them in the comments. We'll ask them away. I think this question kind of applies to both of us, really. So how does psychology affect people's minds in terms of marketing and sales? Well, marketing... actually, I'll let you start answering that one first, Samaa.
I know that my profession is about education, neuroscience, and psychology. But the thing is, when you are establishing a business, as I did, the first thing you need to do is to study the mindset of the market, or how does the people think. So if I have my methods, I can't apply my own methods to all the people. So this is where you will have to have ideas. You have to approach people in different ways. This is the marketing area of business. So even my business is a very unique area. It needed a lot of effort from myself to be marketing my business. For the first instant, the first 2 years maybe, or 3 years, you should be approaching people, individuals, and you should be working on approaching them as simple as possible to explain how can you help them through your business, and then what are the methods that you use, and give them some examples or give them some testimony from your experiences. And I had experiences for 2 years before. So all my clients that I had in the Middle East, they are still my best friends and giving me their testimony. And they wrote their stories. One of them, she wrote her story, and I will publish it on LinkedIn soon. I always publish it. I always put it. This is the life-changing. So this girl I worked with, the coma, 1.5 years, and all her brain, all her skills came back to her life. And she is graduating from university now. However, when she came, she couldn't read a letter. She had 2 languages, she lost them. So getting back, and she lost all her confidence. She was fragile. So this is what you have to be doing. It's not only I'm training you as a personal trainer or the brain coach to reconnect your cognitive skills together. I have to make this connection or this bond with my client to let them know what's really happening, and that there is hope, and it is really going to happen according to brain plasticity. So everybody, all of us, we have the same brain. All of us, every human being has the same brain. We have the same amount of neurons on cells in our brain, but it depends. Are you going to use them all? We can use them all. We can use our whole brain together. And it depends on your motivation, your inner motivation. This is your mindset. So it is connected. the mindset with your cognitive skills should be working together.
And I totally agree with that. And just from a technical point of view as well, I mean, the whole marketing industry overall, it thrives on the psychology of people buying. So literally simple things like the colors, the fonts, the shapes of things, they can all affect people's sort of buying decisions, because the best marketers, they understand our primal instincts, which actually don't really change that much. And then they sort of use that combined with our sort of what you just said, Samaa, about sort of our mindset, cognitive skills as well, and they combine that together alongside of how can we help you solve your problem. That's when they're on to a winner, and that's when the best marketing campaigns are born. Yeah.
The problem why people struggle in marketing for some areas, I'm talking about my own area. You can't apply one method for your business. If this method didn't work, you have to try to work on another method. So you have to be very creative, and this is related to your brain. If you have this fixed mindset, I'm gonna use this method only and nothing else, so you're gonna stay where you are, because the life is developing very quickly. Everything around us is developing very quickly, so we can't stay fixed in one idea or one area, or I will be approaching this idea in this for my service. And ideas from United States or Middle East or Europe are different when you approaching them in the UK. So you have to study the psychology of the minds of people. You have to understand how do they think to know how to approach them. So it is really important.
Love that. So, Gamden, I hope that's answered your question. Let me know in the comments if you got any other questions or comments or anything like that. But Samaa, who can benefit from your service?
Okay, everybody can benefit from my service. We start training people from ages 6 and above whatsoever. The oldest I have, or the youngest I would say, because they are getting younger when they have the brain training, their brains is getting younger. So I had 55 years old lady came, and she had the training. So everybody can benefit from the service, and we are targeting the target of our service. Most of the people who are really struggling. Let's talk about children. Children with learning difficulties, learning disabilities, ADHD, autism, dyslexia, dyscalculia, dyspraxia, all type of learning difficulties. If you are going to go to adults, they will have the same difficulties as children. And also we have concussion, brain injury, because I worked with a brain injured girl, the one I told you about, the life-changing.
With the adults though, with the adults, I imagine that some of them have had like past traumas or past sort of
and this
blocks that you have to help them overcome as well.
Exactly. And this is why I'm telling you, in Rising Brains, you will have a comprehensive approach. I will be the cognitive brain trainer, the practitioner, and I will be the coach, the mind coach, and I will be the therapeutic. So I will be approaching all their issues whatsoever in the same session they come. It's a one-to-one session. It's tough. It's a long journey, but it will give them life-changing. And once they finish this training, it's permanent. It's for life. It's guaranteed, because once you fix these connections in your brain, they won't be disconnected again unless you have a concussion or a brain injury, or you went in a severe stroke or anything. So we work on stroke, people with stroke. I work with seniors, adults who want to perform better in their businesses, like the lady I mentioned, and her story. And there's a video and story about her in my through my social media. Her name is Jasmine Freeston. So everybody can benefit from this. And also, I'll tell you, the adults that came and make the training, I'll tell you honestly, 90% of them, they faced severe or chronic depression through their life, but for a long period of time. And this is the most important area or issue that affected their cognitive skills. And this is why you came to me to the same time that we need to make people or parents aware of the pandemic that we went through, the lockdown we went through. It's a toxic stress that affected everyone, especially children who were locked down or locked out their friends, locked out from interactions and from school, because these children, they have the very good brain to be connected and rewired very strongly. And when you are locking down, and this lockdown with the psychological effect, they immediately, if you don't work on their mindset, how to think, they immediately go to this fear, the stress, the fear, we remain 3 months. Now we are still in a critical situation. So until they get back to school, it's September.
It's only going to get worse from here on out.
Yes, of course. So 3 months are enough to make this effect of a toxic stress on a cognitive, powerful brain for everybody. So if we have a struggling student already in school, you can't imagine what type of struggle he will face when he go back to school. So I am really shouting out for parents, if you are really concerned about your child and how is he or she going to perform in his new academic year, just give me a call. Let's book up an assessment and see where are his or her cognitive skills, strengths and weaknesses, and we will approach and fix it. So what we do, we analyze. Yes, we analyze and we will know where is the issue and the causes of their struggle, and then we will fix it. And actually, when they come through this time, they really need the therapy and the speech mindset and the coaching with the cognitive improvement or the cognitive training. So it's really important to go through this. Now it is a must more than ever.
I totally agree. Guys, a few who've just joined, first of all, welcome to Livewire TV. We're interviewing Samaa today from BrainRx, Rising Brains, and we're talking all about like literally changing the neurons in your brain to have massive change within your life for like children, yourself, or even your loved ones as well. And I suppose to sort of picking up on your last question a little bit there, what's the difference between what you guys do compared to tutoring or behavior therapy or NLP or what people do in schools?
Okay.
What teachers do in schools?
That's really an amazing question. Thank you for asking this question. And it will clarify more about what we do, more about our service and what we do for children or anybody else. Now, in school, teachers only give you the academic curriculum. They only give you information, knowledge. So they are not going through the neuroscience. Neuroscience means you have to understand the autonomy of the brain. The autonomy of the brain will give you an idea. Teachers should go through this. They should be having this when they are having the teacher training. They should know about how does the brain work. So if I know that the most important area is here, located here, it is the executive function with our emotions together. If the student
is that the back of the brain that you just sort of referred to, or the front of the brain?
It's the front here.
Okay.
This is the front of the brain.
Okay,
The most important skills are located in the front of the brain. However, all of them are located in everywhere. They are connected, as I showed you here. They are all connected this way. This is the healthy brain connected together. If we have a dysfunction in one area, one cognitive skill, which is attention. Now, teachers, they don't take care of.
Just want to interject there because Gamden's just commented to say thank you so much for Rohini and Samaa. I think that answer like really helped him. So Gamden, you are most welcome, my friend.
So the attention is most important. The attention is the most important skill of our cognitive skills. If the child is distracted in the classroom, he is not gaining any knowledge, and this is where he is failing and not gaining the knowledge. So this is the difference. When I am working, I'm going to show you how the learning model works. So I have some examples so people can know more about. This is how this is how the brain works. We have these three most important skills, which are the attention. You can see them here. All right, attention and the processing speed and the working memory. If the attention is not working properly, the child is distracted. That means his memory is not going to gain any knowledge, and going through the learning model, this child is not having higher thinking, and then eventually he is not or she is not getting the knowledge bank, and this is where they are failing in school. What the tutors do, they come back and do the same job as a teacher, and they are teaching you just to pass your exam or to pass your subject in school if you have any quiz. So they are still filling up the pot which has holes, so everything will be drained later.
Is it safe to say, and this might hit a bit of a nerve with some people, like, is it safe to say, because the reason I'm asking this question is because I know that the education industry, like in terms of schooling, it hasn't technically changed much really since the Victorian era. And there's a whole sort of reason for that in terms of like the economy and how people want to, how the government want to keep things more or less the same. But is it safe to say that schools, they kind of teach you this bog standard lessons or bog standard sort of topics just to hit a tick box exercise? Is it, for schools, is it just a tick box exercise, or do they genuinely want to help students implement the things that you are teaching them in Brain RX?
No.
Or are you saying it's a tick box exercise for them?
Schools are totally different on what my methods the method I apply in my service or in my center. I had been an educator. I worked at 10 years an international educator. I know how to teach. I taught three subjects, and I taught the American curriculum. And actually, I know the difference between the American curriculum and the British curriculum. However, I am here. I was born here. I lived here. But actually, because of my travel situation, there is so many things that should be changed in the education system. But I'm not going to go through this now. But there is so much important areas that the teacher should be aware. If this child having any psychological issues, or there is any problem with his background, or he went through any issue, or there is anything in his family, we should be, as teachers, understanding their situation. I should be approaching my student or my child in the classroom. I taught children with so many difficulties. My head teacher always gave me the most difficult students in the classes. She gave me always the most difficult classes, the children who are really failing.
She knew you could handle it. Because she knew that you can handle it.
Yes, I did. It burned me out, yes, but the results were massive. And the parents always say, please, the head teacher, please give us Miss Samaa, or this teacher. We want her for the next year for our children. And they begged for this teacher because she changed the life of their children. I gave them you have to apply some understanding, or you have to be aware of the psychological issues, how to apply your education system while understanding the psychological issues of your children in the classroom. Once you understand them, you know how to approach each one individually, and he will be paying most focusing on you and having the information and all this data he is taking and storing, and it stays in his mind and going to the next year. So this is one of the areas it is lost because of the massive amount of students, 30 students in the classroom. It's a very big amount, and the teachers are only looking forward to finish the curriculum according to the standards of the school or standard of the education system. Going back from education system to tutoring, tutors are doing the same. However, they are one-to-one. They are only teaching this child the same method. So if the child doesn't fix his psychological issues and he is distracted, he is with you in body, but he is not with you in his brain. He is not focusing. Focus is attention. Attention needs sustained attention, divided attention, and selective attention. This is the most important core cognitive skills. If we lost it, we don't gain anything. We are not working properly. We can't function in life, and it applies to adults as well. And what is the effect? Who affected the attention? The psychological issues, the emotions, the behavior, all the thoughts, belief, thinking, it affects the cognitive skills. And this is why I said the executive function is your main cognitive skills with your emotions. And if you are an emotional person or facing any difficulty like stress, depression, anxiety, whatever, this will affect your cognitive skills. And if we have, I'll tell you honestly, children will face this now I don't want to be make the parents sad, but there is a solution. Sorry, there is a solution. You need to understand your children. You need to work on their mindset. You need to calm them down. You need to secure them, make them uh, don't don't let them scared of the situation. It's not a scary situation as they can think, because children, they don't know what's the meaning of coronavirus or the pandemic, or why are they locked down. Because I had two students who were like crying through the video call, and they want me back to their actual life, because through the back pandemic we made 2 months of our training remotely. It worked for certain students only, not everyone. So the parents and the children were so supportive. They were hard with us to put their children on this training for 1 hour or two during a day, to continue the intensity of our training, because we shouldn't stop our training. There is an intensity. When I tell you you need 120 hours, I don't allow you to make gaps between them. You should go through the training. It's a plan. You should go through it from A to Z in one shift intensively to have the result that you are aiming and we are aiming to. So this is the difference between teaching and tutoring. And if I go to NLP is neuro language. So programming, it is the mindset. How do you talk to your mindset? So NLP is exactly how do you coach your mind. So how do you change your mindset? So it is important. This is not the most important service that I apply. I apply it to every student, yes, but this is not what is BrainRx is. BrainRx is a one-to-one brain training for cognitive skills through exercises that I approach all your cognitive skills, from attention, working memory, processing speed, short-term memory, long-term memory, auditory processing, visual processing, logic and reasoning, and 70 other underlying skills. So through 1 hour, this student will be working out his 70 or more cognitive skills. So what you are doing, it's like you are approaching muscles of your body from head to toe. So I am working on every single cell. So if I explain for you, this is the cell. These are the synapses. These are the connections that they will be strengthening and working to be connected in a coherent with all the cognitive skills together. And this is what it's called firing and wiring. So what will happen, they will be connected more strongly together to make the information go through your brain and stay there, not to drain like when you are in a school. So schools have a lot of gaps. If the teacher had the awareness of psychology and some neuroscience, she will work on them through her learning year, her academic year with her children, if she wants. It depends on an individual. But here in our service, I assure you that when a student come of an age, academic age, he will or she will have the comprehensive approach. I will teach them how to learn. I will train their cognitive skills. I will work on their mindset, and I will heal them from all their anxiety in the same time.
How, like you mentioned earlier about developing people's brain age, how can you measure that? So let's say, for example, you've got a 14-year-old, they've got the brain age of a 7-year-old. You do your exercises on them, you do the training with them. How can you then measure that success, the results?
That's a great question, actually. Thank you for hitting that question. As soon as a person or a parent come through our door to make their children life changed, the first thing we do is to apply the Gibson assessment. The Gibson assessment, it's the assessment that it is with our service, with our license from BrainRx and ReadRx. So I have it. It's only in our centers. It's not existed in. You can't find it in any other places. So this assessment will assess how does your cognitive skills work, how does your attention processing speed of information, visual or auditory information, working memory, long-term memory, short-term memory, visual processing, auditory processing, logic and reasoning. How are they functioning? What is the level? Is it strong? Is it weak? What is the level? And it is an applied program or an applied assessment. We do it through our computers in our center. So the student will sit for 45 minutes, do the assessment through these procedures and questions, which is not related to academic level. And we will assess according to how many questions this person had answered correct and how many did he do. For example, if we have 14 questions, he answered or she answered 5 out of 14 and the assessment finished. So and we will gather all the information and give the percentile and the equivalent age. After the training sessions, the journey that they will spend with me from maybe 4 to 6 months or maybe more if they have severe weaknesses, we will apply another Gibson assessment, which is the same, and we will see. It will be comparing. So the result of the previous one will be comparing the result of the post-assessment after the training, and we will see the massive improvement. And we have a lot of examples in our center. So you will see what is the average or what is the age gain for children below 16, or the last age we can measure the age equivalent is 16 years old. So we will see what is the age equivalent of this student after the training. And actually, it's not only how the assessment is measuring the result, it's actually when I am the practitioner and I'm applying the exercises, we have a set of 15 procedures, and each procedure had levels from 1 to 15 or 12 or 10 according to the procedure. And when I have a student who finished and locked all these procedures, the last one is so tough, very tough, and it's in a very high level of it is applying a lot of difficulties when I'm giving them this exercise. If they pass this exercise, that means it's really, really massive improvement in their brains. And I approached my students last month. I asked this girl, 15-year-old girl from Telford, I told her, do you value your brain? And she said, what's the meaning of valuing my brain or valuing myself? I told her, can you imagine when you came in February, you can do the exercise you're doing now in July? She said, of course not. I can't do it. It's too tough. I told her, this is where you should start valuing yourself and your brain. You have a very strong new athletic brain skills. So you have the tools now, use them. So these are the tools I am applying and building and implementing in every client come here, with changing their mindset, with applying and coaching, which is, some people, they say it's NLP. I am coaching these, and it depends on every personality. You can't approach or give the same method of thinking to every client. Every child or every client is different. So you need to know how to approach these. So you need to have the psychology background. You have to understand their psychological traits and problems. If you understand them very well, you will have this bond, you will have this transparent look and vision, and you will know how to approach this specific client and fix their issues.
Do you know what? I am so grateful that services like yours actually exist. And let me tell you why. Because when I was younger, I really struggled academically, and I didn't know why. Because in most areas of life, I was a pretty bright kid. I was fairly creative, as you can imagine, and very bubbly and everything like that. But for some reason, academically, I just really struggled. And whilst my peers and everything were thriving around me, I was sort of thinking, like, why am I falling behind? I mean, it got to the point where my teacher, even though I think I was about 10 years old, because of the way that I was behaving, she started giving me the homework and the classroom work of literally the 5-year-olds.
Exactly.
So I'll be in a 10 years old in the room with other 10-year-olds. Class, I think, was like, yeah, 4 or 5 or something like that. But it should be giving me like 1 and 2's homework, because she thought that's all I could emotionally and mentally manage. And then I started getting these symptoms of being really clumsy, not being aware of like the distance between things. I mean, I'm ridiculously clumsy right now. And then my handwriting as well was like a 2-year-old. Literally, no matter how much I concentrated, how much my arm was aching trying to get the writing to just sort of be neater, and to match the teacher's standards, I couldn't quite get it. It was always like a 2-year-old. And then eventually, at the age of about 16, I got diagnosed with dyslexia, moderate dyslexia. And to put it sort of to cut a long story short, my school actually diagnosed my dyslexia very, very late. Literally in the middle of the exam period, they were like, one of my teachers was thinking, okay, something's not quite right here, because it's taken you a longer time to understand things. It's taken you a longer time to write things down. And otherwise, I was a fairly bright kid. So they did this some sort of dyslexia test on me, and they said, okay, we figured out that you are dyslexic. Here is your level of dyslexia. Here is why you're struggling with your grammar, your punctuation, literally stringing a sentence together. Now, for those of you who know about dyslexia,
they tagged you, but they didn't fix your issue. In our center,
exactly,
they come for diagnosis in our Gibson assessment. We don't tag people. We don't tell them, okay, we don't diagnose that you are ADHD or autistic or dyslexic. Okay, they come with a diagnosis. Okay, I'm here not to tag you. I'm here to see what is the level of your cognitive skills, and I will approach them and I will fix them. And this is why I had the other license, which is ReadRx, which will fix the reading and writing and comprehension issue. It's all connected together. And there are so many research here in the universities in England, but these research, they proved that 60 hours of brain training for these cognitive skills will improve and develop the cognitive skills.
That is insane.
And it is amazingly that these research has in England, in Glasgow, in London, in Austin University, in Cambridge. It is not given to the public, and the teachers don't know. They are not aware of anything like this. They don't know. If I trained my child's cognitive skills, his life will change. You don't need this tag or this, I am dyslexic, or I am this, or I am that.
It's almost like when they sort of diagnose you with something like that, you get branded as that.
Exactly.
And when I got diagnosed with it, when I moved on to college afterwards, they actually showed me the difference between a normal brain. I say normal brain like that because what is normal these days? And they showed me the difference of a normal brain compared to somebody with different cognitive skills compared to mine. So, for example, dyslexia or dyspraxia or something like, or ADHD or something like that. And they showed me literally how the wiring in the brain is different. And then they explained,
but they didn't tell you it's fixed.
No, they did. So they did do that through like various exercises, which is why I'm saying I'm grateful for services like yours, because if it wasn't for services like yours, the school system is not designed to fix that. It's not designed to literally rewire the brain. It's not designed to help somebody with overcome their dyslexia. It's not designed to help somebody overcome their lack of confidence. It's not designed to help somebody who has had their neuro-linguistic programming change because of how they've been treated before, or something that may have happened in their life as well. What the school system is designed to do is they treat the symptom but not the cause. And that's why I'm saying I'm grateful for like companies like yours, because you guys, you understand the symptoms, but you actually treat the cause as well. And when I started treating the cause, that's when I saw a massive difference in not only my like inner confidence, but also my like academic skills as well. And all of a sudden I could read and write and do basic math skills as well. I mean, I literally struggled with the 2 times table. So massively grateful for services like yours as well.
Even if you come to my office and just try one free training session, I have a lot of people who just wanted to discover what is this. We apply and we can offer you one free brain training session with me, a one-to-one session, just to taste and to find out what does this training look like, and you will feel that your brain is sweating.
If somebody's watching this and they've got a child themselves, or they are sort of on the edge of deciding whether or not to go ahead with your services, what would you say to them?
Actually, I am so proud of the parents who are concerned about their children, and I am shouting for them because I had been a child and I struggled once or twice in my lifetime in school, maybe for some different causes, but I never give up. I'm a person that never give up, that I love to read and work on myself. So if you have a child who's struggling in school, don't wait until school will fix the child's issue. No one will fix this issue. It should be on with professional people, and we are here to apply our services. If you are from London, there are 3 centers now in London, but they are not mine. And there is one who had opened 2 weeks ago in Manchester. So whoever got in touch with me, we will see where is his location and just give us a call, connect with us through our website or through email, and I will give you the best way to be helped. So either you can come to me or I can refer you to the other centers, but you need to do the first step, which is an action, which to make the assessment. Once you do the assessment, you will really have, it's like an MRI or X-ray to the cognitive skills of your child. You will have an idea, why is he struggling? Why is he or she is he behaving like this? Because once you have learning issues or you're struggling cognitively, you will definitely behave badly, or you will have this different behavior as a normal child. And these children are feeling themselves that they have very low self-confidence. And some of them, they mentioned to me that they had been like bullied in school. They had been bullied because of their weaknesses. So if you don't want your child to struggle, you want a new life or a perfect future for them, let's fix their issues and let them this hope for future.
Amazing. Guys, that's all about that we've got time for today. So, Samaa, I'm super, super grateful that you actually made the time to jump on and share some of your amazing wisdom with us today. So, I think with what you've been sharing today, it's a little bit different compared to what we've usually been talking about, but I think it's so relevant in the current situation, and that's exactly what this show
And
is
this
all
is
about. It's all about helping people in the current situation. What were you going to say?
Actually, first of all, I'm going to say thank you. An adult, just try to think positively. Out of every struggle, there is something positive, definitely. If you are looking only to the negativity of every situation, you will never find a solution, or you will never get out of this problem. You need always to try to look at the big picture. There is always a picture. For example, if you can see this picture, some people they say that this is a boy who is flying a kite. Some people, they will look at the suburbs, and also some people, they will look at the boy. You need to focus at the positive area in every situation. So there is always a positive area. And I believe even with the lockdown, for myself, I said, yay, it's amazing. I have this time to concentrate more on my thesis, because I have to submit my thesis in the 1st of October. So I was so happy. And this is how I approach this lockdown, with this mindset or this type of thinking. And I was so happy. In the same time, I said, okay, I will concentrate on building up myself more. There are so many things that you can approach and you can work on. And in the same time, people who had children, focus on your children, love them more, make a connection with them, let them understand the situation, let them understand the environment more close. Engage with them if you are not a working mother or a working parent who is working from your home. Even though you will have time for your children, I have massive time. Actually, I don't have little children. My son is 20, so I don't have little, but I'm working with all the little ones through the video call through the pandemic. But really, my students they couldn't wait until we are free to go and come back to the office. I allowed them to come baby steps, for example, one by one.
Guys, we're going to be dropping in the comments where exactly you can get in touch with Samaa. We're going to be dropping some links to her website and everything. So if you did want to get in touch with her, even just to chat about anything related to her services, NLP, she's more than happy to, like, I know she won't mind saying this, and you're more than happy to give the time of day to help people in their current situation. So we're going to be dropping your contact details in the comments below. Guys, that's all we've got time for today. Unfortunately, it's been such an amazing session, but do join us next week, 7 p.m. on a Tuesday, where we are going to be interviewing a social media and event marketing expert. That is going to be not one to be missed, and she's going to be talking all about how you can market your event, even in the current situation, and how you can use social media to your advantage as well. So definitely make sure you tune in, guys. Have an amazing week, whatever you're doing.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Have a lovely day.